Hey guys, this is Daniel,
And Matthew. And
and
we
we
are
are that
that
damn
damn
friend.
friend. Never
Uh,
gonna get on right.
That's all good. So we have another fun-filled episode this week. We're gonna be talking about some news that we've been seeing around that we find interesting, whether we like or dislike it. Just something that brings attention, that needs attention.
Needs
So
a
the first,
spotlight put on it and we're gonna do it.
exactly, sunlight is the best disinfectant.
Anyway.
So
Anyway.
the first topic is control. So actually, I really do want to play this game, and I've heard very good things about it. I've heard it's a good game. I heard that it is one of the very few games that actually uses ray tracing in a way that the game, like, it doesn't look like a gimmick. It looks like it belongs. So I'm pretty excited about that because I'm excited about ray tracing in general. So I probably won't play this game until I get a card that can ray trace. But anywho, they're kind of doing a little shitty thing. I believe the developer is 505
I think that's the publisher. I wanna say
publisher.
it's Remedy Entertainment is the developer.
Well, the publisher normally makes those shitty calls, so let's blame it on 505.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe. But anyway. Remedy slash
So,
505, whoever.
so Control had, I believe, two DLC packs after the game came out, and I'm not too sure if you were able to get a season pass or not if you had to buy them separately. But like most games, once the game's out for roughly a year, they're releasing a complete edition or ultimate edition. I think it's called complete edition that comes with the DLC and the game, and it's going to be $40. Um, the cool thing about the complete edition is that if you buy it and you upgrade to a next gen console, you can actually play it on the next gen console, and it'll be upgraded to a better version, the better version of the game. It's not just backwards compatible; it's actually upgraded, which I think is pretty great because if ray tracing was the big thing in this game, and the new consoles have ray tracing, they get to experience it. So I think that's pretty awesome. What's super shitty, and I thought about this for like 30 minutes the other day, like trying to justify how they can like reason it. And I actually did come with justification, but then I'm like, no, but then you could just do this, and it makes
So
everything
let's
better.
let's let's hear all of it. Give us both sides of that
Well,
shit. I want to
well
hear it.
I want to say what it is first.
Okay. All right.
So if you bought the original version of Control on either PS4 or Xbox, and the DLCs, or even if you don't buy the DLCs, I guess it doesn't matter. You cannot play it on the Xbox, the next Xbox, and the next PlayStation for free. You would have to go and buy the version that's coming out next. So you would have to buy the game twice, essentially.
Like spend another $40 after having spent the initial 60 plus whatever
Plus
it costs
whatever.
for the DLCs.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, that's pretty shitty. So at first I was thinking like maybe um it was like because the new game is like a complete package where it doesn't require any DLC keys or anything because once you get the game you have everything that kind of makes it easier to transfer over, and I think that's probably true in a sense. And that's what I was thinking, like, oh, it's probably a technical or logistic limitation, not them just being assholes. But then I thought of so many ways that you can get around that. Like maybe if you bought it through the Xbox or the PlayStation Store, like, sorry, people who buy physical copies, but if you bought that and then you bought the DLC through the store, they know that you own the whole thing. So why not just like have like something where you can fill out your gamer tag or whatever, and you pretty much rescind your rights to the old copy, and you get a new code that's on your account that would be for the new copy of the game. So I thought through that. That was the only way that I could think that they would be able to help people, because a physical copy you can't really
Right.
just like figure out who owns one of those. But I just feel like there was ways around it if they gave a shit.
Yeah, yeah. Like I want to say that Steam did something similar actually. Not I want to say it was with Skyrim. I don't remember buying the like gold version of Skyrim. There's been like so many damn versions of Skyrim. But I'm pretty sure I bought just kind of like vanilla base Skyrim one time because it was on sale for like $10 or whatever. And I'd already, even though I'd already had it on Xbox and played it on Xbox, I'm like, I want to play it on PC because I want to install some kick-ass mods, like have Macho Man Randy Savage flying around as the dragon, and you know all this cool shit. Get the Wilhelm scream when people fall off high perches and all this cool shit.
And the Thomas the Choo Choo Train as the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dragon.
All this cool shit. So I'm like, I want to get on PC for the mods. And so I'm pretty sure I just bought like base vanilla Skyrim. And then I think what happened was Steam ended up like giving me a free upgrade for because like it went on sale for super cheap, or I don't remember the exact context of it, but basically that version of Skyrim was gone and it replaced with Skyrim like gold version or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like I didn't buy that, but I'll take it for free. Like, you know, so if Steam's capable of doing some shit like that, and obviously they're a huge platform and they have a lot of money and resources, but so is Microsoft, so is Sony. Like, it can be
And
done.
I would think Sony would be on board. I mean, not Sony, Microsoft would be on board because a lot of the things that I've been hearing about Microsoft doing the whole like buy it on this console and you get the free upgrade is Microsoft's actually taking charge of that. So I bet you they could have reached out to Microsoft and just have Microsoft take care of it. Sony, on the other hand, is getting the developers to do it, but they still want them to do it. Like Sony's like, yeah, we want you to do this, but we're not going to do it. Microsoft's actually doing it for the developers. So for sure, 100%, that if the at least the Xbox version could have been handled easily because Microsoft would have done it for them.
Right. And it seems like you know, Microsoft's being more friendly now. Like you were saying, you know, we've mentioned it in a few previous podcast episodes about how Sony was kind of like the holdout for crossplay, whereas originally they were like, whenever they were losing, they were for it, and now they're winning, they're against it, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, Microsoft's trying to do what it can to kind of almost unify gamers and make it easier, and Sony's just like, yeah, not so much.
Yeah. It's going to cost us resources. Nah.
Right.
But so that's pretty much my take on it. Yours?
I would agree with you in that it's very shitty that they're doing that, especially because, like you said, if they spend $60 for the game, let's say the DLCs are minimum between $20 and $40 is kind of
Yeah.
the usual, depending on you know what it is, whether it's story or like a multiplayer or whatever. I don't even know if that game. I don't think that game has
Nah, it's
multiplayer,
single
but
player. Yeah.
okay, so then it's pretty much probably just story content. So yeah, like anywhere between $20 and $40 times two. So that plus another $40 for the if you want to actually be able to upgrade it, like
Right.
that's a terrible move. That'd be like, you know, buying Destiny and then buying all the individual DLCs and then deciding you want to get Game of the Year edition and you know, and then like, oh, I want the season pass. Like, you know, that's I get why companies do it in terms of like, you know, if somebody who hasn't played Destiny or whatever, they're like, okay, I want to get the newest version because it has all the previous shit, and
Right.
they can make more sales that way. But for the it screws out players that have already owned the game, and like you know we just were talking about like having to upgrade and having to do it the more traditional way if you have the actual physical copy. Like it sucks for people that are collectors, you know, because a lot of people just like to have physical copies of games, like, you know, because you know, if you've been gaming for upwards of 15 years, it's kind of like you grew up on having physical cartridges and discs and books and, you know,
I've
like
been
little
gaming for
cases.
15 years and I totally want everything digital.
Well, but I'm just saying, like,
I know there is a section of the market that's 100% physical. Like they will not buy digital, and I understand that. But in that case, then they're used to
getting screwed.
yeah, like how many Street Fighters did they buy?
Right, right. Well,
Back in the day.
well. So that's kind of the point I was making is that essentially it sucks for those people that just like only want to collect, only want to have it because they grew up doing that. That was, you know, there was no downloadable shit back in the day. Like, you know, I mean, there was various attempts with like the Sega channel and I think
Yeah. Oh
the
my
Nintendo
God.
channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were been attempts, but ultimately it didn't really come to fruition until, you know, like 10 years ago or whenever
But
that was.
I just don't see how they would logistically be able to do uh, a physical copy to play the new stuff.
I mean, it would probably have to be something with, you know, putting the disc in, verifying like when you played it, like your versus your gamer tag, and you
Maybe
know,
if you
maybe
have both
sending your
DLCs and you can only play it when the disc is in.
yeah,
Like,
or like, you know, have to send in. it would probably suck. Like send them some kind of physical copy of your receipt, like maybe not the actual receipt, but like a
But then now you
uh
have two games if they send
well,
you another one.
I mean, you know,
Yeah, like that's just, I don't know. That's for them to find out, figure out. But what they're doing is shit. That's all that
yeah,
matters.
yeah. The point of it is, it's a shitty thing to do, and it sucks for those people that are getting screwed. But for the new players, cool. Get to play a
Well,
really cool game that has all the content for less money.
I'm not against Game of the Year editions though, like in general, because you pay a premium to play it up front. So people that get Game of the Year's editions wait it out, and that's when the developer or the publisher has already exhausted all their means of getting it out of the original um, group. So now it's the bargain hunters that are like, I'll pick it up for that. And, because we're all about that, so that's why I'm not against it.
I knew you were gonna say that. I mean, I'm pretty sure we mentioned it last episode about us picking up Anthem for $10. So,
Yeah. So,
like we're all about that, and like we should probably jump back in that sometime too, because it's been kind of fun.
I've been enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
All right.
go ahead.
So next topic. Well, first off, I want to start off with it's the same topic, but Project X Cloud was kicked off the Apple Store because Apple claims that they can't rate all the games on xCloud. Which, if you guys don't know what xCloud is, it's Microsoft streaming service for their Xbox.
You can
So
basically stream to your phone and play it
tablets,
to
yep.
whatever, and just play like Halo on the bus or something.
And yeah, and you just have a controller and you're good. So they made that statement. Microsoft made the statement that like it's they only really crack down on video game stuff because they still allow Netflix and they still allow Spotify, where they're clearly not rating all their stuff. Like they're not rating our podcast. They're not. So that happened, and it was shown pretty much Microsoft was showing hypocrisy of them and saying that they control their marketplace to better suit them because they're trying to push some Apple Arcade bullshit. Coming to Fortnite, though, so Fortnite recently got kicked off of Google and Apple, the Google Play Store, I should say, not so much Android. So they wanted to find a way to discount their currency by 20%. So their $10 pack became $8. And I guess they didn't want to lose any of the profit while doing that. So they pretty much just installed something in the app that lets you directly pay them, which is a big no-no on both the platforms. So Apple comes out and like just bans them instantly. Google kind of like waits till the next day and is like, okay, I guess we will. So they ended up, they're still on Android. So if you have an Android device, you can still play on Android because Android's open source. So you can just download it straight from their website through your phone. You can't go through the Play Store, so it's not really that convenient, but you can still play it. Apple, on the other hand, you cannot play at all. No way to play at Fortnite. So they should probably just have like a frozen server on that on that build of Fortnite, so people can at least play. You may not get the new shit, but at least you can play.
Right.
But it comes down to pretty much the 30% that they take. Apple takes 30% off of every single sale that's on their app store, and Epic didn't want to pay it. So by going around them, they would actually charge less but make more money because they were only making $7 per $10 pack, and now they're making $8 with an $8 pack. But they're suing Apple, and they're saying that they're unfair in their marketplace. But they're not, like Sony, not Sony, Microsoft, it has been saying that kind of stuff. I think Google with Stadia got kicked off there too. So there's a lot of different companies actually coming after Microsoft. I mean, I'm sorry, not Microsoft, Apple. Because they pretty much own a big segment of the marketplace in terms of apps. And if someone has an iPhone and they don't like what you're doing, they'll just fucking ban you and that's it. Which is one of the reasons I don't have an Apple. And not because they were doing, My thing was always, if I'm spending $1,000 on your stupid phone, you're not going to tell me how to use it. Now they're actually trying to be a little bit overstepping those bounds, but
I I mean, I have an iPhone and I don't have any problems with it or Apple per se. I have a problem with this scenario and the fact that, like you said, they have a large percentage, like market share of this whole, apps and everything. And it's not like they need money, you know what I mean? Like 30% is a large amount. Like
it's
maybe,
huge.
yeah, like if you were to go and let's say Daniel and I decided to develop a game, and we go and enter a contract with a company or something, and they said they wanted to take 30%, we'd probably both tell them to go fuck off. Like, 30% is a decent amount. Like, I mean, maybe I guess it depends really, because if it's a large amount, like 30%, like we might be able to do that. But
It depends on the level of distribution. Like,
yeah,
okay, so what are you doing for this 30%? But yeah, if you're simply just acting as a server for my app, like I don't need you. I can just
yeah. I mean, hell, I'll rent a server and fucking
for like
post it there.
$2,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. Like wait until I get enough sales and then make a bigger server, and then
yeah.
so I don't have to worry about your dumbass storefront or whatever taking 30%. Yeah, that's fucking crazy to me, because Apple had no hand in making Fortnite whatsoever. Like they did nothing, and they're like, yeah, just go ahead and give us 30%,
The
just to be
xCloud
able
thing
to
pisses
put
me
it
off
there.
more than that because xCloud was going on there and they're just like, nah, we don't want competition.
And like that doesn't really make sense to me either, because even though I have an iPhone, I don't play like anything Apple specific, any Apple games. Like, but if xCloud were on there, like, yeah, I'd probably jump on there. But I mean, I'm not gonna be going out of my way to like do it, because realistically, as cool as it sounds, like I don't really see myself needing xCloud.
I'm excited about xCloud because I see it as when I travel, I can still play.
But see, you do a lot of traveling. I don't. So I can see
Yeah.
why that appeals to you. If I traveled more, then it might. But I guess if somebody's like, a jet setter, they're always on the bus, or they're always, driving, or they're on a plane or wherever, and as long as they
Right.
connect to the internet, then yeah, I mean, I
And
can see it being beneficial.
we're also in Texas where everything's so spread out. Think about someone in New York, California, Chicago, where public transportation is actually the way to get around. So while you're just chilling on the bus, the
Or
train,
subway or whatever, yeah.
yeah, it's something to do. And yeah,
Sure.
I hope Fortnite wins or Epic wins. It feels bad. I'm rooting for them, but good will come out of it. And so I
I
hope the
mean,
Apple Store gets opened up a bit.
at the very least, it's generating discussion. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about it, and we're obviously not the only ones talking about it. I'm sure there are plenty of others who are, larger than us discussing it as well. But,
Yeah.
as it's just going to bring more eyes all around. And, like you said, maybe what'll happen is at the very least, Apple will be like, all right, we'll step back a little bit and, not be so like Big Brother ish.
Yeah. We shall see. Like, they're fighting tooth and nail, and if I know anything about Apple, it's that they'll take it all the way until they actually lose, if they lose. They have the money.
Yeah, like if we're gonna go down, we're gonna burn this motherfucker to the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we go, yeah.
So okay. Uh, Next one is one that you wanted to talk about.
All right, so Dale and I played through a couple of these games. I thought we played all the way through the third one, but he was saying it was only 1 and 2. Anyway, Serious Sam 4 comes out September, I believe, 24th is what I read just a little while ago. And like I said, we played through the first couple, and it's kind of a fun game. Like it gets to be sort of mindless sometimes, but for the most part, it's just like fun, just FPS killing shit. But Serious Sam 4 is going to be having 4-player co-op, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out. I probably won't pick it up at launch, right? We'll probably wait for it to go down in price, kind of
It'll
like what
probably
we've
be
been
like
talking about.
2 years down the road. We'll pick it up, but No, I generally like when we played the games. I think we got them off Humble bundles for like $1. So I enjoyed them. I know they're old games, so when I say I feel like they're a throwback to a different time of shooters, it's not that it's a throwback; it's a different time of shooters. But
Right.
even playing it in modern, like in modern times, I thought it still held up.
I
So
agree.
I'm looking forward to playing this eventually. It's not on my gotta buy day one list, but to be truthful, not a lot of games are nowadays. So it's not no, nothing about it saying anything bad about it.
Well, we could tie it into what we're gonna do on stream tonight, real quick, regarding that. But technically, we're not actually buying it.
Right. I have it for free because of the AMD chip I bought a while ago.
So Battletoads actually comes out today, depending on when this podcast goes up. Probably, it
Probably
might be,
tomorrow. Well, it
yeah,
probably came out yesterday or a day before that.
whenever this
But
goes up. But anyway, we're recording this on the day that Battletoads releases, and so we are
right.
going to be streaming that on our Twitch channels, which you can find right there. And so, if you're on around 7:38 p.m. Central Standard Time, whatever, probably too late when you watch this, but we might archive
Yeah.
it. We might archive it and put it up on the YouTube, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, so that's
That would
kind
be a
of
good one for YouTube.
yeah, so that's kind of what you're talking about though, in terms of don't really games don't really make me want to buy them, but then it's like, well, we're gonna play Battletoads on release, but we're not technically buying it because it's part of Games Pass and
Well, and that goes back to, I guess, not it's not going back to, but how we were talking about xCloud. Um, I think Game Pass in itself, and I know I've said this before, but it's a fucking great deal. Like if you get the ultimate one, that's $15. xCloud's going to be included next month, so you get xCloud, the new Xbox games on PC and on Xbox. I think that's awesome, and the phone thing just adds way more. Like that probably puts it over the top for me, where I'm like, I'm willing to get it because I know I will have gaming no matter where I go.
so that's cool. I didn't know I was gonna be getting XCloud.
Yeah, you're gonna be getting xCloud, so just sign up for it.
So true story. I signed up for whatever Games Pass Ultimate for Gears 5, which came out about a year ago. Actually, I
You
want to
probably had it for
say,
a year.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's been like I think it was September last year when Gears 5 came out. So yeah, it's
Oh,
I've
but
had
you
that shit.
you kind of won't be getting xCloud because you have an Apple,
I mean,
unless you have an
yeah.
Android tablet somewhere.
I've got some Android devices somewhere around, but
Yeah, then
I'm
okay.
actually in the middle of moving, so they're packed away. Well, sort of in the middle of moving, a couple of weeks, but anyway.
I actually wanted to play Halo 5 off xCloud since I don't have a Xbox.
That'd be cool.
But switching to new or talking about new technology and cool stuff like that, the new NVIDIA cards should be releasing fairly soon. The new rumor is that the 80 card is going to come out first, with the flagship coming out after that, shortly after. Right now, NVIDIA is a little ticked off at Intel because Intel is still stuck on PCI 3, so they're trying to figure out how to market that. I don't know if it's going to have any sort of negative performance yet, but that's something we'll find out when everyone starts benchmarking it. I really enjoy the little thing that they're doing to the announcement. We believe the announcement's going to be on the first of like, this is what the cards are, this is how much they cost, this is when they're coming out. Starting a few days ago, I guess 21 days before the 1st of September, they have been doing 21, if they call it 21 years, 21 days, because the first NVIDIA card came out 21 years ago. So
Wow.
every single day for 21 days, their Twitter, the GeForce Twitter account, not the main NVIDIA account, but the NVIDIA GeForce account on Twitter, is doing something every day for each year since they've been out. So the first one is when their first graphics card came out, and they showed off some games from there, and it was cool just seeing like some games that I haven't seen in forever. And I enjoy just going on the little thing every day and seeing what new stuff, because they post new things as you go. And they were talking about like when Call of Duty, the first Call of Duty came out, they showed that, and they made a little pun like, oh, I bet I could play one of these every year. They poke fun at stuff, and some obviously foresight that we have now that we didn't have back then. But it's it's just been really cool. Even if you don't plan on getting a GeForce card or a gaming computer in general, it's cool. Like right now, it's just cool to go check out their Twitter account if you're an old school gamer and you would recognize some of that stuff. If you're a young gamer, you may not really care, but for us who lived through those times, it was fun.
Yeah, I remember seeing it too. Like I haven't kept up every single day, but I remember seeing a few when I'm scrolling through Twitter here and there, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like it's a nice little trip down memory lane.
Yeah. So another piece of news that I'm really excited about, and I'm hoping is more so linked to a previous piece that we talked about. Prince of Persia was actually spotted on a store. I forget which store. It's they spotted it was there listed for the PC, not PC. I'm sorry, the PS4 and the Switch. So I'm guessing if it's PS4 and Switch, it'll probably be Xbox and PC as well. It just was Prince of Persia, and the logo was just the name, like the font, the Prince of Persia font, and and whatever font they use, and or the name. And so we don't know if it's the rumored remake of Sands of Time. I hope it is the rumored remake of Sands of Time. I really hope it's not a new Prince of Persia. And the reason I say that is because they did that before and it kind of sucked when they tried rebooting it on a 360. And they said that was supposed to be a trilogy, and then I guess they just gave up. Like it was an all right game, but if you played the one with the original Prince, like it wasn't on par. Like, so I'm really hoping it's maybe like a trilogy of the original trilogy, or even if it's just Sands of Time at a discount, maybe $30. I'd pick it up. I don't know. I'm not gonna pay a full 60 for Sands of Time. I can go pick it up on the Ubisoft store for like $2.
Right.
But I hope it's the old games. If it's a trilogy, whether it's just Sands of Time, I'm excited about that. If it's a new game, I'm gonna be cautious about it because I kind of feel like once you get past a certain time, then they revive quote unquote a game. It's the game by name and not essentially by essence. So
We'll see about Battletoads.
yeah, I'm. We'll find. We will see in like an hour.
Oh god, I want to meme that so bad. That's hilarious. Just you're just like, like I can sense the frustration coming through the screen. Like that's fucking crazy. Yeah, but going back to Prince of Persia for a second, or sort of tying into that. Have you ever played City of Brass?
No.
So it was free on Epic, like I want to say a couple months ago, and I picked it up. And one day I just randomly decided to stream it. I think it was the day you weren't on or something, and it's actually kind of cool. It reminded me a little bit of Prince of Persia. The setting was kind of like what is it, like Saudi Arabia, Middle East, whatever, that kind of aesthetic.
Arabian nuts.
Yeah, and the players could actually, I'm sorry, the viewers could actually influence the game. They could vote on like power to give me power ups or to like spawn enemies or spawn friendlies. And so it made it a little interesting because I remember I had actually, it's a pretty short game. I beat it I think in like 2 hours, and I remember I got to the last boss fight and I thought it was all done, and Dermot was in chat. He's a regular to our channel and to he's in our Discord. His name is Dermot Dev. And anyway, he was in chat and he spawned some skeletons like while I wasn't looking because I was like celebrating that I won the game, and these came and started attacking me. I was like, oh shit, what the hell is going on? I thought I already had finished. And yeah, it kind of gave me a little bit of Prince of Persia vibes. So if they do some sort of like update, remake, reboot, I think it would be cool if they included some sort of integration, because now, it feels like pretty much every game gets streamed, like I feel like there's not a single game out there that probably hasn't been streamed at some point or another.
Right.
And so it'd be cool if more games did some sort of like Twitch integration. I was gonna say Mixer, but that's in the toilet. So, but it'd be cool if they remade Prince of Persia with some sort of like viewer interaction, whether it's Twitch or YouTube or what have you, and people could just be in chat and vote.
it would be cool to see how they can do that. Like how they would be able to hurt you, I don't know, other than spawning more enemies. But maybe a viewer can help you by giving you like if you ran out of sand, maybe they can cheer or something and it gives you more sand so you can have another rewind or another attack or
Yeah, that'd be interesting because then that also is kind of like another way of getting you revenue. You know, if you especially if you made it bits like or cheers or what have you. So it's like
yeah, that's sort of. I didn't know that most of them weren't. Like I know, well, the only one I've done is Borderlands, and that's the one where you just vote. But I thought, and I could be wrong because I've never played them, but that the other games that use that kind of streaming stuff do monetize it like that.
I'm not positive. The last game aside from City of Brass that I played like that was Gone Viral, and that one was pretty much the same as City of Brass. Like options would pop up in chat and also on the screen, and chat could type like A, B, or C or 1, 2, 3 to vote for specific things, and that would affect like what power ups I got versus what I didn't get. And
That makes sense. Like maybe minor things like that would be free, but then if you want to spawn like a boss or something that really like fucks the streamer, you have to
pay
pay.
$2.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, or cheer 1,000 bits or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Hopefully, no one steals it from us.
If you do, it's all credit that dembrand.com.
Right? TM.
Yeah. At least link to us or give us a shout out.
Shout us out.
Yeah. What?
All right. So my last topic and is coming back to the Avengers. I know I think we've talked about them like 3 times in a row now. This one's a brief one for me though. Because at this point it's just getting humorous. So Avengers is teaming up with Vizio, the TV maker, and they have an advertising campaign that their TVs are the best TVs for the Avengers game because of their low refresh rates. And I only saw low refresh rates. I don't know what else you can tell on TV. Maybe they're 120 hertz.
Or like super crisp pixels.
And I'll tell anyone who might fall for this right now, if you want really good refresh rates, buy a monitor. I used to game on a monitor when I played 360. It's awesome. So it's not a PC thing, has nothing to do with PC. You don't have to buy a computer. But if you're serious about your screen, PC or console, get a monitor. Don't buy a Vizio TV.
Especially not for some Avengers shit. Like, what are you gonna be? It's just like we talked about previously. You're gonna walk around as Captain Vizio, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if they put skins in that. But like, even how they're talking about response times and refresh rates, the Avengers game isn't one that really requires fast response times, or like that's the wrong game to advertise for with that. Like, you would want like
fighting game.
Fighting games or FPS like Fortnite or something. Like, no, Fortnite's not FPS, but you get what I mean. Like Twitch stuff,
right.
where it requires fast reactions. You really don't need that shit in a game when you're playing against computers.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just very. It feels very forced at this point, and it's kind of like what you mentioned off of recording is like they'll pretty much take anyone who throws money at them.
Yeah, it's just becoming comical at this point. That's why I brought it up. Like, I don't really have more to say than it's just stupid.
But can you imagine? Like, let's say we had millions of dollars just to fuck around, and we're like, hey, you know what? We want to be in the Avengers game, so here's like $10 million. Put that damn brand costumes in there for everyone.
You know what we need to do? Like, neither of us has played this game, but I actually do want to play it even before it became a fad. We need that damn brand bean in Fallout, guys.
I mean, I had got beta codes for us, but again, I didn't think you would be interested. Otherwise, I would have sent it.
I think that game looks cool shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm down for checking it out. It seems like it'd be. When I saw somebody post about it on Twitter and said they had extra codes, and I asked for them, I said, hey, this kind of looks like a little bit of a Fusion Frenzy type game. And like one of my friends, I was meeting you, of course, one of my friends was a huge fan of Fusion Frenzy. So like it'd be cool to get 2 codes so that him and I could play it together. And then like she hooked it up and sent me the codes. But then I was like, I mean, that was when I was still in the warehouse and didn't have a lot of time, and I was just like, maybe not. It doesn't seem like it might not be his cup of tea, but oh well. Maybe we can pick it up when it goes on sale, winter sale or whatever.
Yeah, hopefully it goes on sale soon. But
Yeah, but tying
uh,
back to the Avengers for a second, so the open beta will be this weekend, depending on when this episode goes out. And while Daniel isn't really interested in playing the game at all, I probably will jump in the open beta just to check it out because we've been talking about it so fucking much. I feel like we at least owe it to you guys who have been watching these podcast episodes and listening to us on Spotify to, at least let
I
you
like how you do the
know.
arm thing when you say Spotify, like they can see that.
Yeah, it's more so it's a thing for YouTube. But anyway, but what I mean is like because we've been talking about it so much, I want to at least be able to give you my thoughts on the game as I'd be able to play it since he's not interested in it. At least I can tell you what I think. I'm pretty sure I can probably tell you what I'm gonna think right now, but I'll give it a fair shake. Check it out, and then I'll report back in the next episode. So there's going to be at least one more episode of this podcast talking about the Avengers.
I'm
Just
pretty
as a
sure if
heads
you
up.
didn't do that, something else is going to come out in between that would make us talk about it.
Yeah, some other sort of promotion or whatever DLC costume bullshit.
Avengers donuts at Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh god, they're changing their name instead of Duncan to Avengeon. Yeah.
So I think that's all I got, unless you have something else.
No, I mean that's pretty much it. Like I said, we'll be streaming Battletoads. There'll probably be an archive here, and depending on when this goes up, I'll probably put a card up in the thing right around now. And so yeah, I guess that'll do it for this episode. I've been Matthew,
I've been Daniel.
and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.
I stole your peace.